Who won Brexit, Starmer or the EU? So the UK and EU talks went down to the wire, but in the early hours of Monday, negotiators managed to strike a deal. Sir Keir Starmer will be keen to promote the wins of the agreement, including trade and easier travel rules for British holidaymakers to the European Union. But Britain has also had to make significant concessions, particularly on fishing rights, that are likely to prompt anger from Brexit supporters. Here, the Telegraph looks at where the Prime Minister won and lost in his EU reset deal. The EU has secured fishing rights in British waters for 12 years until 2038. The move has been seen as a major concession by Sir Keir to secure other elements of the deal. Prior to Brexit, the Commons fisheries policy gave European fishing boat access to UK waters more than 12 nautical miles from the coast. The Brexit deal, struck by Boris Johnson, reduced the annual quota that could be caught by EU fishermen by 25%, but set a cut-off date for that arrangement in 2026. Sir Keir has now agreed to extend the quota of 75% of pre-Brexit fishing rights until 2038. It's been dubbed a fish-for-food deal as the concession was made in return for an agreement to boost trade. The UK government has argued that it is a practical step as it removes the politics from annual negotiations and allows both sides to concentrate on other, more important areas. What about you? Do you think Starmer has sold out on Brexit? Or has he got a good deal for the country? Let me know in the comments below. Now the next question is, what happens now? Well, the deal is due to be signed off at a meeting of EU leaders this week. And if approved, it will then need to be ratified by the European Parliament before it can be implemented. Well, our political editor, Chris Bruniat, has been speaking to business leaders in London. He says that they broadly welcome the deal, although they would have liked to have seen more done on financial services. And just to remind you, this deal looks set to be a major victory for the Prime Minister. If he can get it through Parliament, it will probably be the most significant piece of legislation since Brexit itself. Our chief political correspondent, Jason Groves, is in Brussels, where he has been speaking to senior EU figures. He said they are pretty pleased with the deal and see it as a way of stabilizing relations with Britain after years of what they described as destructive Conservative government. Now, there are some in the Labour Party who will be furious about giving away fishing rights. But Sir Keir is likely to argue that this was a necessary compromise in order to get the deal over the line. As he said on Sunday, sometimes you have to choose between principle and the national interest. And in this case, he clearly decided to back the latter.